2026. Sweet Home CannaBama Radio gets a reboot with ongoing appearances by Poppa Snoop and Dr. Dan, special segments for veterans, seniors, recovery, and the latest information about plant medicine. We are giving you more. Join us every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central on FM Talk 106.5 on the Gulf Coast, or watch us live on YouTube.
Hey, CannaBama fans, are you lost and looking for a licensed hemp retailer in Mobile and Baldwin County? Look no further. Cloud9 Vapes has 2 licensed locations, one in Sims and one in Daphne, and are now serving up the relief you need. From edibles and drinks to vapes and topical creams, Cloud9 has the products you need on both sides of the bay, with more to come. Go to cloud9vapesllc.com for more information.
How do you feel about marijuana here in Alabama and its use?
I've talked about, obviously, medical marijuana. I've talked about the same thing, you have descheduling. I've talked about not criminalizing those who have used it. But I've also talked about cannabis, and I've been endorsed by the Alabama Cannabis Coalition. I've talked to people about the health care options they have, exploring cannabis, or even medical marijuana. Good stuff, right? And so when you get into it, I'm the only candidate, I don't do this often, but I'm the only candidate that spent hours in training under someone at a professional level who learned, even under a person who served in the military, the difference between THC levels, where we get the 0.3 from, what is under 0.3, what's over 0.3. I can tell you the difference between, going into your chemical background, THCA, and how decarbonization results in THC, or the burning process. Here's the basic answer to your question. As governor, one of the first things I'm going to do, one of my first legislative sessions, I'm going to pull legislators in, like these future elected legislators, and I'm going to say, come on with me as we pull physicians, we pull patients, we pull people who are business owners, who are actually in this industry. And let's talk about the benefits. The reason HB 445 has caused people problems is that it was pushed through, and no one ever talked about what marijuana is, what it does. No one talked about how many people are locked up in prison right now because of their carrying a certain amount, treated as if they're a violent offender. And the list goes on and on. When we have that legislative session, we can actually overturn what took place in 445 and see where Alabama can be a state that's welcoming to people who have views just like you and I.
Change doesn't wait. Why should you? Welcome to the Gaia Guild, Global Action Impact Awareness. At GaiaGuild.com, thousands are coming together. Creators, innovators, changemakers, building a future that matters. Your membership unlocks events, classes, and connections that spark action. And explore the G3 collection and exclusive guild merch at GaiaGuild.shop. This isn't just talk, it's movement in action. Gaia Guild. Join today. Become a guilder. Visit GaiaGuild.shop.
Hey, CannaBama fans, are you lost and looking for a licensed hemp retailer in Mobile and Baldwin County? Look no further. Cloud9 Vapes has 2 licensed locations, one in Sims and one in Daphne, and are now serving up the relief you need. From edibles and drinks to vapes and topical creams, Cloud9 has the products you need on both sides of the bay, with more to come. Go to cloud9vapesllc.com for more information.
social media. We are here on Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, all the things. So if you are watching online, share this, subscribe to the channel, and help us get this message out, because we're really the only ones doing it in the Southeast and some parts of the country. Thank you to our sponsors, Cloud9 in Daphne, Sims, and 2 locations in Mobile on Airport Boulevard and Rangeline Road. They have been sponsoring Sweet Home CannaBama and helping us spread the word, what it is, what it does, how it works, how to use it for the entire Gulf Coast and beyond. So thank you to Cordell Harris, his crew at Cloud9 Vapes. And happy early Mother's Day for all my ladies out there listening. It's Mother's Day this weekend. And, you know, they say anything you buy for yourself or do for yourself in the next week or so is considered Mother's Day gift. So, you know, go crazy. I want to go ahead and get into current events. We have a really big show tonight, a lot to talk about. Gerrymandering, and it's not usually the topic that we talk about here, but in the state of Alabama and the state of Texas, in the state of Tennessee, a lot of other states, this is happening. After a ruling, the U.S. Supreme Court decision in a Louisiana redistricting case that's reinstated a lower court order requiring that the state draw a secondary majority black congressional district. The ruling sent shockwaves across the South, where several states, including Alabama, have been entangled in long-running legal battles over congressional maps. While the decision doesn't directly force Alabama to redraw its lines, we, of course, know that Governor Ivey called a special session that started today and wants to get this done. The timing raises significant questions. The primary is only 2 weeks away, 2 weeks from tomorrow, in fact. And even a minor adjustment in the district boundaries can affect ballots, polling locations, and voter outreach. Election officials say they're preparing for rapid guidance once lawmakers convene, but they're urging voters to stay alert and verify their district information as the primary approaches. The deadline to register to vote or change your information is today. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but the importance of this, why I wanted to bring it up, is we do have a primary election in 2 weeks on May the 19th. And, you know, we got burned real bad in the last year. You know, the hemp industry was knocked to its knees, and the medical cannabis industry is still straggling and burdened with lawsuits over 5 years into the situation. And in a lot of other cases and with a lot of other bills this session, it doesn't seem like the legislators are listening to their constituents. So redrawing district lines right before an election is not cool. And it doesn't matter. After tonight, you can't change your information. So if they change those lines, what happens to the early ballots? What happens to the ballots that have already been printed and dispersed for May 19th? We don't know what's going to happen, but it's not a good thing. And I would just encourage you to go to the Secretary of State website and register to vote. If you're listening in another state, register to vote. We don't want low voter turnout to be the reason we keep getting the same crap every single election. And I think the people of Alabama are ready for some change. Also, today was supposed to be a historic moment in Alabama, supposed to be being the operative phrase there. The long-awaited opening of Callie's Apothecary, the first medical cannabis dispensary set to serve patients under the new state's program. Instead, they are still closed, leaving patients and advocates with more questions than answers. The Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission confirmed the delay early this morning, saying only that final operational clearances were still pending. They did not specify exactly what the holdup is, but sources familiar with the process say the final checks involve security verification, software integration for patient card tracking, and last-minute compliance reviews, all mandatory before a dispensary can legally open. For patients who've already received their medical cards, the postponement was a disappointment. Many had planned to make their first legal purchase today, and they are not going to be able to do that. And they have already been waiting since 2021 when the law passed. Callie's Apothecary had been widely expected to be the first location to open, and that's just not happening. The dispensary is one of 3 licensed operators preparing to launch up to 9 locations statewide by the summertime.
of course, despite the setback, the commission is saying it'll happen soon. But we've been hearing that for 5+ years, and I'm really sad. You know, if you're a patient that's already gone through the process of getting a medical card, which a lot of us never thought would ever come here in Alabama, I want to personally say I'm so sorry that this is happening. And I know that the integrated facility licenses were supposed to start their hearings this summer. But this past week, John McMillan said in a press interview that it would probably be next year before the integrated facilities were operational and those dispensaries were open. So again, it's hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. Tonight, I want to sort of tee up the second segment for you as we're making some major changes to the show, adding more content, giving you more stories, and connecting you to the most experienced industry voices available. And starting tonight, you will regularly see the faces of my two next guests, Dr. Dana Lillistahl and Poppa Snoop. You maybe have heard of him and his son. Dr. Dana brings a practical, wellness-focused voice to help seniors and veterans understand healthier lifestyle choices without feeling overwhelmed. She'll help explain why plant-based medicine and senior wellness are becoming important conversations for families, caregivers, and communities. And she'll share grounded perspective on how education, prevention, and trusted guidance can help people ask better questions about their health. And I'm super excited to have Dr. Dana and her perspective, especially given all of the changes that have happened within the hemp and CBD industry, especially CBD oil for seniors on Medicare that are over 65. I believe that segment of the market is exploding. We've seen it happen, and it's happening more. And now that seniors are being told by Medicare that they can get some help with the purchase and the stamp of approval from the government and their doctors, you know, that generation, that's important so that they know that this isn't something to be afraid of. And so I'm looking forward to Dr. Dana's guidance for our audience and being able to tackle topics one by one as she's on the show on a regular basis. And also, Poppa Snoop joins the show as a recognizable cultural voice with a heart for veterans and community impact. And he is the father of Snoop Dogg. He will talk about using his celebrity platform to bring awareness to veteran homelessness, senior support, and the Veteran Six Foundation. Poppa Snoop brings heart, humor, and real-life energy to the conversation, helping make a serious topic feel approachable and memorable. I've got to meet him briefly before this, and he is so great to talk to. You know, he is a decorated Vietnam War veteran, and he is in the industry. And of course, you know, he hangs out with a guy that is very familiar with the topic of cannabis. I would venture to say the poster boy, him and Willie Nelson, are you know, international icons for the subject of cannabis. And so we are really excited to have these people come in and give their perspective from the view of someone who has been to war and lived that for all of his adult life, and who is using cannabis to help with different issues and trying to connect veterans with the plant and with the education and the information and the compassion that they deserve when they come back from serving their country, and preventing things like addiction and homelessness, and being able to better treat their conditions, whatever they may be, traumatic brain injury, you know, CTE, whether it's an amputation or, you know, a brain injury, a bodily injury, a mental health issue. Too many of our veterans are being left in the dust and committing suicide and left to deal while their lives and their families fall apart. And we're here to speak for them. And so I'm so honored to have Poppa Snoop be the voice for the veterans for Sweet Home CannaBama. When we come back from the break, you're going to get to meet both of them and get to know why we're doing what we're doing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Dr. Dana and Poppa Snoop.
Hey, CannaBama fans, are you lost and looking for a licensed hemp retailer in Mobile and Baldwin County? Look no further. Cloud9 Vapes has 2 licensed locations, one in Sims and one in Daphne, and are now serving up the relief you need. From edibles and drinks to vapes and topical creams, Cloud9 has the products you need on both sides of the bay with more to come. Go to cloud9vapesllc.com for more information.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah,
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Sweet Home CannaBama. Now with all the information you want about cannabis, here's your host, Jennifer Boozer.
Welcome back to Sweet Home CannaBama. Tonight, it is May the 4th, so you already know what we had to do. Tonight's theme is May the 4th be with you. And good Lord, if your Facebook feed isn't full of it, mine is. It's pretty crazy. Star Wars Day is everybody's favorite. Today, I'm joined with 2 special voices, Dr. Dana Lillistole, who brings wisdom, wellness education, and a heart for seniors, and Poppa Snoop, a national personality, father of Snoop Dogg, Veteran 6 Foundation ambassador, and a man who is using his celebrity platform to shine light on veterans who are too often left in the dark. So buckle up, CannaBama family. The force is strong with this one. Dr. Dana, welcome to Sweet Home CannaBama. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm honored to be here. And I love this theme.
Yes.
Because really, wellness is all about a force.
That's right.
A force of education, a force of patience, a force of compassion.
Yeah.
Especially for seniors and veterans.
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's so much information out there.
There is.
And it's not always clear. It's not always safe or helpful.
That's exactly why we're doing this. Poppa Snoop, welcome to Sweet Home CannaBama. How are you feeling today? I think somebody needs to turn their speakers off. We're getting an echo here.
I'm doing fine, Jennifer. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed, and I am ready. May the 4th be with us, but more importantly, may the truth be with us, because a lot of our veterans, our seniors and veterans, need somebody to talk plainly and talk with love.
I love that. Dr. Dana, let's start with the problem. When we talk about seniors and wellness, what are you seeing? What are families struggling with?
The biggest problem is really confusion, because seniors are hearing so much. Hemp, CBD, cannabis, plant medicine, prescriptions. It just goes on and on. Sleep, pain, anxiety, all the things that affect us. Inflammation and just healthy aging.
Right.
But we're kind of confused. We don't know what's safe. We don't know what's legal, what's appropriate, or who can we trust. Many seniors are dealing with loneliness, or sleep, stress, chronic discomfort, or fear in losing independence. And when they see these products online and they hear these stories from their friends, they're like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start.
Right.
So my message is simple. Go slow. Get educated. ask really good questions. Write them down.
Yeah.
And don't guess about your health. We're here to shore you up and help you.
That is so important. Because Sweet Home CannaBama has always been about helping people understand what this is, but more importantly, what it's not.
Exactly. Education is removing the fear, and fear is real. When we remove the fear, seniors can make better health decisions with their families and with their healthcare professionals.
Right.
And let me jump in right there. A lot of seniors came from a time where nobody talked about this stuff in a positive way. So now they are curious. They are also cautious, and that's okay. We don't know. We don't need to push people. We need to teach people.
Yes, that's a beautiful distinction. Do not push, but teach.
Right.
Poppa Snoop, you have a big name, a big personality, and a big platform. But this mission with veterans feels personal. Why is this so important for you?
Because veterans are not just a talking point. Veterans are people. They are fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, grandparents. Some came home and never really got all the way. We have veterans dealing with homeless. We have veterans dealing with veterans who were exposed to toxic chemicals like Agent Orange. We have veterans fighting for the benefits they earn. Some are trying to get that 100% disability status, not because they want a handout, because they need the support where that was promised, and if my name and my voice, my presence can help open doors, then I'm going to use it.
Yes, thank you. Can I pause real quick and ask everybody to mute your microphone and speakers on your laptop, because we're getting a really bad echo and I don't want to miss the message. I'm hearing myself in triplicate.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, somebody's speakers or microphone are on the laptop. I'm so sorry. If you're listening, these are the kinks that we got to work out, and this is the beauty of a live show. At least it's honest. Let me figure out where we were. Sorry, I lost my place. I think you were talking about using your voice, and I think that's a powerful reason to use your celebrity, is to use your voice for people who cannot speak for themselves.
Exactly. Right.
All right. Let's see if we can overcome this echo.
Okay.
Dr. Dana, you have a question for Poppa?
Well, Poppa, you're a voice to help people understand what cannabis is all about and how they can change their equation.
Right.
And somehow they're missing the assignment, which I love. The assignment is taking care of us even better.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Celebrities is only useful if you use it to help somebody else. Hey, I can smile, pictures all day, but if we don't help veterans get connected, if we don't help seniors feel seen, then we'll miss out. Then we'll miss the assignment.
Right.
So, Poppa, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you speak to veterans, especially older veterans, what do you think they want to hear first?
What they really want to hear is me fighting for Agent Orange, which they have a list that I've been on for 49 years. They want to help me. They want to listen to me about homeless vets, because there's way too many, especially in LA, downtown, that have nowhere to go. They've been on drugs for a long time, and they are proud of me for what I'm doing, because I don't have to do it, but I'm doing it because all Vietnam veterans, all war vets, period. We are all brothers. We are all brothers in arms. That's why I do it.
Yeah. Well, and that's so important because they're invisible to some people. And when they feel like that, it can affect their health, their motivation, their mood, and just generalized hope.
Yeah. But right now, like I said, I'm gonna keep fighting, and if I can take it to the White House with a couple of Vietnam vets, I'm gonna do that. So I feel that I have a platform to do it.
Let's talk carefully and respectfully about something serious. Veterans who were exposed to toxic substances like Agent Orange that you just brought up. Dr. Dana,
Right.
from a wellness education standpoint, what should families of these veterans understand?
Well, first they need to understand that this is a complex issue from a health standpoint. So toxic exposure can be a part of that story. And it's really important they don't try and diagnose it or handle it themselves.
Right.
They need to gather their records, ask questions, connect with qualified professionals, veteran service organizations, and appropriate healthcare support, because this is big.
Yeah.
The wellness side is all about supporting that whole person with sleep, nutrition, stress, mobility, emotional support, and safe conversations.
Right.
About plant-based options where it's legal and appropriate, because we want to go within the rules.
That's right. We don't want to break the rules. That's exactly a good point. That keeps it grounded. Education, records, support, and the right professionals.
Exactly. And some of these veterans are proud. They don't ask for help. So we have to make the help feel respectful, not charity, but respect.
Right. Absolutely. What about the 100% disability conversation?
Oh, right down. I know a whole lot of guys. They're at 90%. Some are 70 to 80%, and they was in Vietnam, and they were fighting to get to the 100. My thing is, I got my 100 2002, and these guys now they really fight, man. I mean, if you can take a guy to 90%, why not just go give him the whole 100? The only Vietnam vets know what we went through, and I'll leave it right there.
Right. Dr. Dana, for seniors listening today, what are some simple, safe first steps when they're curious about hemp or plant-based wellness?
Well, first, write down what you're trying to improve. Are you trying to do sleep or stress or comfort, relaxation, quality of life? Be specific.
Yeah.
So you're focused. Second, make a list of your medications and your health conditions. Then speak with a qualified healthcare professional.
Yeah.
Especially if you're taking prescriptions, because we don't want to mess that up.
Right.
And third, choose education over hype.
Yeah.
Look at the products seriously.
Yeah.
And the businesses and their value structure. Are they testing for impurities, compliance? Are they transparent?
Right.
And is there responsible guidance? And lastly, folks, start the conversation with your family.
Right.
Look at the products and the businesses that you value meeting. And like confusion is a problem.
Yeah.
But education helps solve it.
That's exactly why we want to have this conversation. We're out of time for tonight. Thank you so much to Poppa Snoop and Dr. Dana. Stay with us. Antoine Mordican is next for the latest on Alabama medical cannabis. Stay with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
You gone? All right. You gone? You done?
Whoa.
FM Talk 1065, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority, and Dr. Bill Williams.
The Gulf Coast can expect mostly clear skies tonight. Low temperatures will be in the mid-50s at daybreak. For Tuesday, mostly sunny with highs of the lower 80s. And the outlook for Wednesday, partly cloudy with a slight chance of an afternoon shower and highs in the mid-80s. This is meteorologist Dr. Bill Williams for FM Talk 1065.
I'm Roseanne Haven from WKRG News 5. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office has identified the man killed in a deadly shooting. 39-year-old Tyler Carl Edward Hodges was shot multiple times and pronounced dead in the parking lot of Brothers Quick Mart around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. An argument reportedly broke out between Hodges and the driver of a truck. When Hodges went to his vehicle and grabbed a machete before approaching the truck and injuring the driver. That's when the driver apparently shot Hodges before leaving the scene. Mary G. Montgomery High School head football coach Zach Golson has been placed on administrative leave. Mobile County School authorities confirmed it this afternoon. Sources say there's an investigation into recruitment violations. I'm Roseanne Haven from WKRG News 5. Local coverage you can count on.
Hey, CannaBama fans, are you lost and looking for a licensed hemp retailer in Mobile and Baldwin County? Look no further. Cloud9 Vapes has 2 licensed locations, one in Sims and one in Daphne, and are now serving up the relief you need. From edibles and drinks to vapes and topical creams, Cloud9 has the products you need on both sides of the bay with more to come. Go to cloud9vapesllc.com for more information.
Welcome back to Sweet Home CannaBama. Now with all the information you want about cannabis, here's your host, Jennifer Boozer.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sweet Home CannaBama, and thanks for being patient with us during that second segment. You know, when you try to do something new, there's always going to be bugs, and there's always going to be little blips. I'm so thankful for Poppa Snoop and Dr. Dana. We didn't get to get into it as deeply as I would like to, but they both have so much to offer. They will be back on May the 18th, and I'm really excited to continue the conversation tonight. Now we're going to be talking to our good friend Antoine Mordican. Antoine, welcome to the show.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Happy to be here.
Good.
We got everything going forward. I'm excited about it.
Good. Well, welcome back to the show. A lot has happened since you were with us last. So how about we remind everybody who you are and what you do? I do talk about you a lot, but maybe there's somebody listening that hasn't heard yet.
Well, hey there, everybody. My name is Antoine Mordican. I'm the CEO and owner of Native Black Cultivation, which we were one of the first licensed and owned with operating medical cannabis cultivators in the state of Alabama. We've been operating now for a few years now. I think we in year 3.
Yes. Yes, it's halfway through 2026 already almost.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm staring down the barrel of another license fee. Hopefully we can generate more revenue by then.
Oh, yeah.
But been in the space for quite some time now, and excited to see everything that's happening with Alabama, everything that's moving forward. I've been pivotal in a lot of the cannabis discussions to be able to get the program and what we have now, and just making sure that we're staying involved. And also, trying to make sure we're serving the people of Alabama, creating a program that's sustainable and beneficial to the people of Alabama.
Thank God. And thank God it's almost here. It's almost here. So you got your license in the 3rd round in 2023. And you have, give us a brief description of how things have progressed and installed. You mentioned, coming up on another licensing fee. I've mentioned a lot of times how many times you've had to pay that with no reward. So tell us about, kind of how the things have progressed recently.
Yeah, so to give recent updates, after we was denied twice and finally being awarded our license the 3rd time, we've been pretty much operating, fulfilling our responsibilities as a cultivator. We've been producing the biomass. We done had I'm now on my 9th harvest.
Oh, wow.
Rolling out in the next couple months. So we've been doing everything we've been saying we was going to do. But what's different between me and a lot of my peers, I'm more of a smaller operator.
Right.
I consider myself as the most economical cultivator in the state of Alabama, which I'm proud to say that, because my peers, oh my God, I don't want to be them in that position where you have $3 to $4 million on infrastructure and a build out, and you have no pathway to revenue.
Right.
And some of that have built out. They haven't even started growing yet because the overhead costs too much just for them to operate. So I've been able to still grow and operate and ultimately provide medicine to the state of Alabama. We actually have the first harvest in the state of Alabama.
Wow.
And now that the dispensary license has been issued, we now have the first legal cannabis transaction in the state of Alabama. As of April 10th, we have moved 10 kilos of weed in the state of Alabama.
Wow, that's quite all.
Yeah, we got to change that up. We got to change that up. Free the people, free the plant.
Right. Yeah, that's exciting. What has been the hardest part about waiting around? I mean, obviously the money part, but what's been the most frustrating waiting around for these lawsuits to be resolved and the regulations that keep changing, all the hearings and the fees? What's the worst part, I think, for you?
All right, money is always an issue, but let's remove the money.
Right. That's an obvious answer.
Yeah, that's going to always be present. I'll say the most frustrating part of this process is, for one, being denied multiple times, knowing that I met the criteria to be able to cultivate cannabis in the state of Alabama and being told that I couldn't.
Right.
The good old Alabama way.
Mm-hmm.
The second is these lawsuits that had us held up in courts for 2 years for no reason.
Right.
Which we ultimately ended up getting those lifted, and now the program is now able to start rolling forward. So ultimately we end up having dispensaries, investigative hearings, and we ultimately end up getting those licenses issued. Now, once we finally got it issued, everything is now open. But of course, with everything on the initial setup, you're going to always run into hurdles. You're going to always run into several different challenges, which I ran into it as the same way as the cultivator. Just like the processor is going to run into their issues, just like the secure transport is going to encounter their issues.
Right.
The dispensary is going to encounter their issues. The lab is going to encounter their issues. So
right.
You have to allow for a buffer for things to kind of iron and work themselves out.
Yes, much like our last segment, any new thing is going to have its bumps in the beginning, but you keep forging ahead and you learn as you go.
Yep. Long as we can keep the lawsuits now, well, they should no longer affect us now at this point. So we have a fully open and operable industry here in Alabama. We should be able to serve the people here very soon. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and you said before, because I was going to ask you this, but you said you've harvested. You're on your 9th round. You're about to harvest your 9th crop.
Yep. About to have my ninth batch to come out. So I've been doing everything in small batches, just kind of dialing in, fine tuning my operation, actually showing proof and tell that I can do the things that I'm licensed to do, making sure that everything is tested and compliant, and just learning that I'd rather learn small lessons.
Well, right, and it's kind of like you've had the last couple of years to do some practice. Because if any one of those harvests had a problem or whatever, it's a small one, and you're kind of cutting your teeth on these, and then of course you have to stack it up somewhere. It's not like it's totally gone to waste, right?
That's correct. Nothing goes to waste around here.
So what happens when you harvest it and you can't sell it? I mean, what happens then? What do you do? Because, we're talking about a biological crop, a plant, a living organism that has to be maintained or it will dry up. It'll go bad. It'll get moldy. What happens to all that biomass, if you will, that you have been harvesting over 8 times?
Yeah, so each operator kind of go about their storage and they drying and curing process a little different. Some folks do whole plant, wet, dry. Some folks do whole plant, cured and dry. I went about drying everything because I didn't want to present the opportunity for mold and things like that to be able to form. De-stemmed everything, vacuum sealed in the bag, throw it in the freezer.
Yeah,
and wait for the process to come online. And since then, now that the freezer is open.
The freezer sounds like it's full too.
We ready to serve Alabama. I'll say that.
I'm sure that if it was allowable for you to sell tickets just for people to get to open that fridge and look at it, people would flock.
Yeah, surprisingly, I've received several emails a week for folks volunteering, want to volunteer their time or intern just to be able to.
I've actually had people ask me to ask you if you need anybody, and I'm like, nah, he's good. I already know.
We will soon. When we start generating the revenue or maybe to start building the team, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to expanding the team.
Well, and for people in Alabama that want to be in the industry and want to learn how to grow professionally, there's not a school for that. You know, you get your experience learning from someone else. You know, I'm sure you learned from someone and you perpetuate that information, you know, but a state like Alabama, I know so many amazing people who have left Alabama to go to other states to grow, to make products, to be a part of this industry because they couldn't do it here. And so I'm thankful for people like you who stuck it out, even to the detriment of everything, your finances, your family, all that stuff, so that you could provide for the people of Alabama. I think that says a lot about your character. And I know you personally, and I know who you are. And you know, I think that there's a lot to be said in an industry where corporatizing and multi-state operators and things like that are rampant for a smaller operator who puts as much heart and compassion and love into the soil as the seeds. So I think that, you know, I can't imagine there's anywhere for you to go but up, right?
That's it. We're going to grow and stretch like these beautiful plants.
Yes, well, and I'll never forget when you messaged me and in our group and said, I just made my first legal cannabis sale in the state of Alabama, and we were like, finally.
Yeah, it still kind of, you know, feel unreal. It still feel unreal, you know, to be able to move that much in.
Right.
You know,
and let's just say it legally, where you're not looking over your shoulder, waiting to get pulled over, or waiting for somebody to kick the door in, you know, like it was before, you know, and so that's got to be surreal.
Yeah, it is. But everybody knows, and hopefully law enforcement know I'm here operating licensed to do so, and everything is in good faith.
Right. And so now you've sold your, how many kilos did you say?
Maybe around about 10.
Okay. And so you sell that to a processor who then takes that and, for, you know, simplicity's sake, squeeze the juice out of it and make the medicine, right?
That's correct. They'll extract all the THC out of the plant, and then they'll make the oil. Then they'll get that oil tested. Then after they get the approval back from the state lab that it's good, then they'll go ahead and put it in the end product, which is gummies, capsules, tinctures, nebulizers, patches, suppositories, whatever they choose to make.
Right.
And then they get it tested again, and then it goes to the dispensary.
Right. So the state knows what seeds you have. They have tested. They've come in and approved of your facility. They know exactly what your growing methods are. They know the background of every person that even walks into the parking lots. It is very, very much tracked by the state all the way to the end user with medical cards and the tracking software that they use in the dispensaries to know who's purchasing what. There is not a gram that goes unaccounted for, right?
That's correct. Everything is tracked.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys had to turn in blueprints, aerial footage. You got to have cameras where, like in the dispensaries, I know they got to have cameras that can see behind the cash register and everything. And they can, you know, the state can pop in and look at what's going on at any time for security's sake to make sure that everybody is on the up and up and checking IDs and checking for medical cards and things like that, to make sure nothing is diverted in an illegal way, right?
That's correct. Yeah, the state, they love to make their styles, which I'm always happy for them to come see me. They come see me quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm love to show them the plant, you know, to make sure everything is up to date. They always check the cameras, make sure everything is in compliance. If anything is out of order, you know, that's your opportunity to get everything corrected.
Yeah. What about this fourth dispensary license that was in dispute? Do you have any insight into whether that will be resolved soon? Because I thought they were going to try to resolve that by the end of January, and we haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, so it's pretty much in the courts as of right now. It's in the courts as of right now. They should have a resolve here soon, depending on how everything turns out.
Right. So as of now, there are 3 active licenses, and each license for dispensary is allowed 3 locations. Now, have you heard about any other locations, tentative opening dates, or are they all kind of, I know that the locations that are already reserved here in Mobile and Baldwin, they're just sitting there empty. So we have no idea when they're going to actually start filling up these dispensaries in other parts of the state. When we come back from the break, more with Antoine Mordican. Stay with us.
Hey, CannaBama fans, are you lost and looking for a licensed hemp retailer in Mobile and Baldwin County? Look no further. Cloud9 Vapes has 2 licensed locations, one in Sims and one in Daphne, and are now serving up the relief you need. From edibles and drinks to vapes and topical creams, Cloud9 has the products you need on both sides of the bay, with more to come. Go to cloud9vapesllc.com for more information.
My dad, he's a double amputee, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. To me, a hero is someone who fights for our country and freedom. My dad is a hero. Homes for Our Troops built this house, and it's basically made for him. My dad can get through the wide doorways. When he is making our lunch, he can reach anything we need. He'll help me build tiny projects. Life is good here. Without Homes for Our Troops, we'd be living in a home that didn't have all these features that helped him.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives.
If they get a new house like this one, it'll help them do normal life. My dad's not just a hero, he's my hero.
Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Welcome back to Sweet Home CannaBama. Now, with all the information you want about cannabis, here's your host, Jennifer Boozer.
Welcome back to Sweet Home CannaBama, everybody. We're here every Monday night at 7 o'clock on the Gulf Coast and live streaming from YouTube and social media. We're talking with Antoine Mordican, who is the CEO of Native Black Cultivation in Bessemer, Alabama. And he is a cultivator for the, it's not new, it's 5+ years old, but the medical cannabis program here in the state of Alabama that has been a bit of a nightmare from the very beginning. So today was supposed to be the grand opening of Callie's Apothecary, and that didn't happen. We talked about that a little bit in the beginning of the show. I didn't hear anything about that. I found out that it was delayed when I was checking in with you at lunchtime and said, "Hey, you're going to that, right?" And you were like, "Nope." Do you haven't? What were y'all told? I haven't seen anything about it publicly, but I'm guessing they put out information that it would in fact not be opening today. I know that the medical commission was supposed to be there, the press, organizations and patients and all sorts of people were getting ready to converge on Callie's Apothecary today. So what happened? Do you know?
I know a little bit. I got a little bit of insight. And it's kind of hard to lock in a date because there's so many moving pieces that each operator don't really have control of.
Right.
So as the dispensary, I think they did put something out on the news today. I believe I saw it on ABC News today that it was the grand opening was going to be delayed.
Yeah.
However, it's tough to have a grand opening when you ain't got no product.
Well, that's true. That's true. That, and I was thinking about all the people that might not have gotten word and traveled to Montgomery hoping to be there. And I was feeling bad for the owners, because if people started showing up, because it's been all over the news that it is happening today. And, people don't always see those news stories and notices. So I'm wondering if they got inundated with people and couldn't do anything with them, especially patients, with so few dispensaries, a lot of people are going to have to travel.
Yeah. It's going to be quite a bit of traveling. So I think total with everybody being licensed, license being issued, it may be 57 dispensaries throughout the state of Alabama, which in my opinion, that's not many.
Right. Right. Well, 37 dispensaries for 67 counties is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that and we both know that a lot of them are probably going to be in the bigger municipalities that can support that, obviously, but that means people in rural communities are going to have to travel just like they do for a lot of other types of medical care here in the state of Alabama. You know, there's 23 counties where you can't deliver a baby or see a pediatrician. There's rural hospitals closing. All the more reason to have a functional medical cannabis program for these people that are falling through the cracks. But I think the rural communities are always the ones that are kind of left in the dust when it comes to these things. And the number of dispensaries to start with has always confounded me. I just don't understand the reasoning with that number. Do you have any insight on that?
No, that's just what our legislators chose to roll out when they was drafting that bill. You know,
do you think they just wanted to start small and see how it goes?
All right, I'm gonna give an honest, unpopular opinion.
Give it to me.
I've been around for quite some time now to see how everything was rolling out. Honestly, you know, it was some legislators that put certain things in place, hoping that the program would not be successful. So right now we're battling those things that was put into place, those barriers that was put into place to get to complicate the program. But I think we'll be fine. I think we'll end up working it out. We have a new election that's coming up, so hopefully we'll be able to get some fresh legislators in that's willing to be able to do things that the people really want.
Right.
So hopefully we'll be able to get more dispensaries. Hopefully we'll be able to expand the available products. I get a lot of folks saying that they want my flower. Unfortunately, you can't have it.
Right. Nope. You cannot have raw plant material for any reason whatsoever. Although it's crazy in the state of Alabama, should you be caught with some flower, it would be a misdemeanor unless it's hemp flower, which is a felony. And speaking of which, because I know you also were a hemp farmer or are a hemp farmer, HB 445 is written a lot like what you're describing, to where they knew that they had to let us have it in some way, but they've made it so hard. The barriers to entry, the rules and regulations that are just all over the place, just astronomical hoops to jump through, hoping that it will just finally die off is what's happening. You know, I mean, I can't even remember the dozens of hemp retailers here in just Mobile and Baldwin County. There was probably 30 hemp only retailers. There's 2 here. There's 2 left. And they made it so that, we're going to let you have it, but we're going to make it so stinking hard and expensive and ridiculous and beat you down that you're not going to think it's worth it anyway. And it sounds like what you're describing, that we all know that there are people that don't want this, and there are plenty of very specific non-biblical reasons, because don't come at me about the Christians and the conservatives. It's not that. But we all know that there are people in the legislature who are trying to sabotage anything like this that gives the people a say and that goes against a lot of their donors. I'm not in the program, so I could say it a little more plainly, that some of them are being paid to sabotage it. So back to what we were talking about, Callie's Apothecary setting a hard date. I was surprised that they did set a hard date, knowing that each of those factors is going to have some nuance. You know, there's you who's growing it, then you have to get a transporter to take it to a processor, right?
Yep.
And then they have to take it and make the material, then get it tested, and then make it into product, right?
That's right.
And then that is what goes on the dispensary shelf. You can imagine, and there's transport between processing and dispensary. You can imagine that with so few people doing this, that it would be, it would basically leave a big margin of error. And so You think that anybody's going to be brave enough to try to set another hard date?
No, because it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. And
Right.
also in between that, we have our labs, and we only have one lab in the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And I always knew that was going to create a bottleneck for the industry.
Yes.
So, as they are also ramping up and performing a test, which my flower has already been tested, it passed inspection. Passed the test and everything, so I was able to give it over to the processor.
Right.
Now they're dealing with a whole different form of the plant. Now they're dealing with just the oil. So the processor,
Right.
he does this thing. They got to come pick it up from him. Then they're going to probably be about maybe a couple of days to a week in between they get their results. And then they can finally make the end product. Maybe take them a week to do that, a week or two to make the end product. And then they got to be collected and tested again.
Right.
And then it can finally be transported to the dispensary. And then you got to allow for the dispensary to be at the inventory, get all the shelves and everything set up, and ultimately give it to the patients of Alabama.
It's a lot of moving parts and a lot of room for error. And everybody is relatively new. Maybe some people are experienced from other states that are involved, but everybody's pretty new to this law and this system because each state has a vastly different program. I was thinking about the transport alone. I mean, how many transport companies are there? If Cali's had opened today, would they have been bought out because they're the only one open for maybe another month or two? Would they be able to keep up with demand? There's a lot of things that are going to be hiccups in the beginning of this program.
Oh, well, we got flour.
Right. But it's that bottleneck processing and testing and all that would ultimately delay everything. We're almost out of time. Antoine, I want you to tell us, how can people find you and support what you're doing?
Yeah, the best way to find me is you can find me on LinkedIn at Antoine Mordican. You can also visit our website at nativeblackcultivation.com. Please join our mailing list. Feel free to shoot us a message. We love to connect with the community at large, as well as so we can be able to obtain your email, or at least information to be able to provide updates to you as things continue to roll out. And I'm also on Facebook as well at Antoine Mordican. You can find me on those platforms if you wish to reach out and get in touch with me.
Well, and on your website, will you be listing the different places where people can buy products made from your cultivation?
Absolutely. That
okay,
is the goal.
Good.
For all of those that's been supporting me throughout the years, I get a tremendous amount of support in the state of Alabama when it comes down to this industry and this plant. So I'm excited to be able to, as things move forward, to be able to push the people to where they need to go to be able to continue to support my brand as well as my partners.
Thank you, Antoine. That's all the time we have for tonight. Join us next week. We'll have John Grady, a hemp farmer, processor, retailer, now running for state representative in Missouri, where they just banned hemp. God bless you, and may the 4th be with you. Good night.
Hey, CannaBama fans, are you lost and looking for a licensed hemp retailer in Mobile and Baldwin County? Look no further. Cloud9 Vapes has 2 licensed locations, one in Sims and one in Daphne, and are now serving up the relief you need. From edibles and drinks to vapes and topical creams, Cloud9 has the products you need on both sides of the bay, with more to come. Go to cloud9vapesllc.com for more information.
Change doesn't wait. Why should you? Welcome to the Gaia Guild, Global Action Impact Awareness. At GaiaGuild.com, thousands are coming together. Creators, innovators, change makers, building a future that matters. Your membership unlocks events, classes, and connections to spark action. And explore the G3 collection and exclusive guild merch at GaiaGuild.shop. This isn't just talk, it's movement in action. Gaia Guild. Join today. Become a guilder. Visit GaiaGuild.shop.